Okay, I'm going live onto YouTube right now. I'm already up on Facebook.
Now you can see me better, right? Yay. Hi, everybody.
Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome back to our Genesis class, live from Jerusalem with Rabbi Chaim Goldberg, my favorite class of the week, and I'm so looking forward to seeing Rabbi today. I haven't seen him in person since he was here in Canada, and it's so exciting. So, yeah, let's just jump right in and see how the class is going. We're joined by many people from all around the planet, so yeah. Shalom, Rabbi. You're live on the air. We're going to turn it over to you, sir. It's your class. Look forward to hearing what you have to share today.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening from Jerusalem. I hope you see me well with the new camera that we have. Yay! Nathan and Ariel also here. We can't see your lovely daughter, so it's not worth it. Yes, just a moment. אני מעביר שיעור עכשיו, לא יכול כרגע. Bye. Someone here is nudging me. Okay, hi everybody. Good to see you all. Angelica, I saw the nice. Oh, excellent. Now, Anava, good to see you, Anava. Smile to us. Great. Angelica, I saw that you had snow a bit. Good, very nice view. I know this view from the window. I know, I recognized the window. Fair enough. I hope everybody is fine, everybody is okay. If you're asking me, we can jump straight ahead and start to learn good things for tonight. Are we all ready? We can start learning. Yes, it's okay. Yeah, let's go on. Good to see you all. Everything's fine in Jerusalem, and I hope everything is fine all over the world, except what we have in Ukraine and Russia. I hope they will also manage one day, one with each other, as soon as possible, what we say. Okay, last week, let me share the screen and let's go inside to the script. We're learning Genesis. We're learning the Genesis and the way that the Hebrew tradition preserved it along history. We saw last week, basically. Okay, we spoke about this in the last few weeks, but I will mention this again, that when Isaac is calling his son Jacob and telling him that he's supposed to go to take a woman from his mother's side, he's also bringing him or giving him the blessing of Abraham. That from the beginning he intended of giving him the blessing of Abraham. And what we see here is that suddenly Esav, who see that his father is blessing Jacob, and he's telling him not to take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. He's not sending his wives from Canaan out away. What he's doing something else. He is combining with Ishmael. Okay, both of them together are trying to bring, I will say, to replace the Israeli, to replace Jacob. I will say it in our days. Okay, it's a very nice way to accept the Jewish people, the Jewish community, as not as a nation, but more as a people. Okay, I will say a personal level. But when we're speaking about, we explained last week that when Jacob went out to Haran, this is a place, we read last week from Rashi that for 14 years, he went to Abel, his forefather, to learn exactly what is the mission of the Israelite nation, of the Hebrew nation. Abel is the father of the Hebrew nation. And he went, maybe we'll read it again in Rashi for a moment. It's a small sentence. I told you that it's a long Rashi with a lot of mathematics, and I know that people in your age don't really like to learn again mathematics. So if you want, you can learn this Rashi, and if not, so it's okay. But we saw here It is. We learn. Dan, can you read this for a moment, please?
Yeah. We learned from here that he hid for 14 years in the house of Eber and afterwards went to Haran.
So we have here that he's learning for 14 years. He's trying to understand from the foundation of this nation, what exactly is his mission? And I will say it like that. There are two ways to think about the mission. One way is to see, I'm sorry, I need to move for a moment. Just a moment, I'm moving to another place and I'm coming. You will see me. Just a moment, I'm sorry.
Hey, Dan, can you remind us what chapter and the verse we are at? Chapter 28. Right.
Yes, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. I'm back. Can you see me? Hey. No, we can see it. Okay. So what we see here that Jacob understand that he's supposed to go and learn from Abel exactly what is his mission. There are two possibilities. Possibility number one is to stay. Possibility number one is to stay, as I will call it, holy people, like monks, in all sorts of places of the world, and from this way to express to everybody that there is God, just like Abraham was a very lonely person that tried to give the possibility of showing God to the whole world in this world. And the second way is to build up a nation. And I will say it like that. Laban in Haran, he also went, and also Bethuel, his father, they also went on the way of assimilating in all sorts of places of the world and expressing the way of Abel. Okay, but this is not what is being demanded from the Hebrew nation. The Hebrew nation is supposed to become a nation. The Eschale Goy Gadol. And we will see this in a moment. First of all, we saw this here. You see, you can read verse number 3, please. Done.
3. And may the Almighty bless you and make you fruitful and multiply you, and you shall become an assembly of peoples.
Assembly of people, it's not few people, okay? And because of that, in the next verse, you can see, please read verse number 4 also.
4. And may he give you the blessing of Abraham, to you and to your seed with you, that you may inherit the land of your sojournings, which God gave to Abraham.
You're getting a land to build up a nation. And God will say this to Jacob. He will say to this. He will say to him again. In a moment, we're going to see this. Okay, let me hide this for a moment. Let me jump for a moment to the next chapter. In a moment, we're going to be there also. I'm sorry, it's still in the same chapter. I don't know who divided the chapters here. Not us. We're God, okay? Can you read verses 13 and 14, please?
13, and behold,
Yes.
the Lord was standing over him, and he said, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham your father, and the God of Isaac. The land upon which you are lying, to you I will give it, and to your seed, and your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall gain strength westward, and eastward, and northward, and southward, and through you shall be blessed all the families of the earth, and through your seed.
This is exactly the blessing of Abraham. And again, he's giving him a place where you're supposed to be building there a nation. Okay, this is what basically he is doing when he's learning with Abel. And I will say this in this way: there is a lot of ways to like the Hebrew people when they are sitting in their places as individuals. But when the Hebrew nation is coming back to their homeland, and as a nation is coming back to their place, so the Ishmael, what we call the Arabs, and Esav, what we call the Western world, or we can call this also the Christian world, they together are trying to fight against the Hebrew nation coming back to their homeland. And this is what we see here. Please read verses number 8 and 9. This is what we saw last week. Read verses 8 and 9.
8. And Esau saw that the daughters of Canaan were displeasing to his father Isaac. So Esau went to Ishmael, and he took Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, the son of Abraham, the sister of Nebaioth, in addition to his other wives as a wife.
And what he's trying to do is Esau and Ishmael, the Christian and the Muslim world, are fighting against Jacob, against the Hebrew nation that is coming back to the homeland. Now, Jacob is still not in a place, I'll call it like that. Jacob is not in a place that you can call him Israel. He's not Israel yet. Okay, he's not giving, or he's not fulfilling by himself the full promise of Abraham. And we need to learn here something very important that I think I said it more than once, but it's a good place to remind it again. We have it that Jacob left Beersheba and went to Haran. In a moment, we're going to speak about what is the meaning of this word Haran. Just a moment, I'm sorry. הרב זה דחוף, אני בשיעור עם בני נוח. אני אתקשר לו. So he's going to Haran. In a moment, we're going to explain this, but I want to explain something very important. Jacob have the potential to become Israel. He's not Israel yet, okay? He has the potential to become Israel. Esau also had the potential to become Israel. Both of them had the potential to become Israel together. Because of the hateness between them, it can't be. Jacob had the potential to become Israel now. Esau decided to go to a different path. He went to Ishmael and he decided to go to a different path. So now we have a question. Will Jacob become Israel or not? Here I want to show you something for a moment. At the point that Jacob realized that he can fulfill, okay, in practice, to become Israel. Where did this happen? It happened, we need to jump, let me see for a moment, we need to jump a bit. Let me open it again in a different place. We spoke about this, that this is a very complicated family who have 4 women, and each one of them, Jacob have 4 women, and each one of them have the firstborn baby, okay? And they were jealous one to each other, okay? You see, Rachel saw that she had not had born a child to Jacob, and Rachel, how do you call it? Envied her sister, okay? She was jealous. In other words, and we see this all the time until one point. This is where Jacob is saying, "Okay, we can go back to our homelands." Okay, when is this coming? Read verses 22, 23, 24.
22. And God remembered Rachel, and God hearkened to her, and he opened her womb. And she conceived and bore a son, and she said, God has taken away my reproach. So she named him Joseph, saying, May the Lord grant me yet another son.
This is the first time that the firstborn is being named for the next son that will come. Again, this is the first time in history that the firstborn was named not on himself, but to take care to the others. And we will see in another 2 chapters that Joseph is searching for his brothers, even though he is a firstborn. This is where the next verse will be. Look straight ahead, the next verse. Please read verse number 25.
25. And it came to pass when Rachel had borne Joseph that Jacob said to Laban, send me away, and I will go to my place and to my land.
Jacob understand that this is the point where all the history can change, that the firstborn will be able to accept, to receive the second one. The main problem in Genesis, the main problem in the world, who is willing to accept the others, okay? Do we have that Russia is accepting in other countries? Does anyone can accept others? Here, Jacob understands that this is a time that he managed to build up the Israel nation. He is managing to build up the Israel nation. And this is why, this is what I said all the time. Jacob here, at this point of time that we have here, okay, that Jacob is going to Haran, Jacob have the potential of becoming the Hebrew nation, the Israeli nation. But it's not yet for sure. It might be that it won't happen. But the potential is with him. Another very important point that we have here, the word Haran. I must explain this. This is something that I've heard, a very new thing in the, how do you call it? The Zoom. There is something that is called whiteboard, right? Where do we find the whiteboard? Here it is. Where do I find the whiteboard?
Bottom right corners, Rabbi.
Where?
Bottom right corner.
What we call the more one?
The open square
The apps?
on the bottom row, underneath all the. That's the one.
It's called apps.
Okay, right. Underneath all the pictures of the people on your main Zoom page, you've got your microphone, you've got your video. Carry on all the way across to the last icon.
Okay.
That should say whiteboard.
These breakout rooms. I don't find it. I can't find it. Next time, you know what? Maybe I need to do stop share. Just a moment. Let's try it now. Here it is, whiteboard. You see? Fair enough. New whiteboard. Here it is. You can see it? How can I write now? Can I type here? Only the pencil? I can't type. Okay.
On the left, you might be able to hit the text.
Here it is. Hello. Yes. Let's write here. Let's see. You wrote something. Very nice. So how do I write here? I need to write something in Hebrew. If it don't work, we will continue on with the. Okay. Let me try to write here something. Okay. If it won't work, I'm going to do something else. The word Haran. No, I can't write. The word Haran. We'll try to write it like that. The word Haran, you see, this is Chet, this is Reish, and this is the last N, okay? Nun. The word Haran is coming from the word, it's called in Hebrew, Charon Af. The word Charon Af, the meaning of Charon Af is anger. See, we need to type something here. Sorry, let's close it up. How do you close it? Share screen. Let's go. Continue. Continue. That's it.
Rabbi, is it possible that you can write in the chat box in
It's supposed
Hebrew?
to be. It's supposed to be. But let
No,
me
on the
share.
bottom, in the chat box.
No, I won't write it there. I won't write it there. Okay. I will do something a bit else, and it will be okay. Can you see my screen now? You can see it, right? Excellent, excellent. So let's open a new one, blank one, and we'll write in Hebrew, in English, and everything else. Everything will be fine. Fair enough. Okay, can you see now? Yeah, fair enough. The word Haran, because I have another thing to do today, so we need to say to have this also. The word Haran, you see, it's coming from the word Charonaf. The word Charonaf is basically the word anger. Sorry. Wow, come on. From the word anger, okay? I will say it like that, and I think we said it more than once again, but it's very important to understand. Jacob is living Beersheba. We spoke about this, that every word here have also a meaning, and went to Haran. Who was, I will say, more responsible for the situation that Esau and Jacob are not good friends one with each other?
Rahel.
Who?
Rahel.
Rachel is Rivka is his mother. Okay, Rivka is his mother.
Yeah, Rivka.
You're saying his mother. Dan said Esau. We have a few people. Okay, maybe Isaac, maybe Jacob. The truth is that Jacob, I'm reminding you all, the firstborn always think that he is the most important person in this world. The second one is supposed to teach the first one that there is someone else in this world. Therefore, Jacob is supposed to take more responsibility. And he's going to a place. Now, listen good, there's a midrash. I didn't brought it here, okay? It's not in the mainstream of all the midrashim. So I can, but there's a midrash that is saying that Jacob went to Haran and God's anger against Jacob went down. Again, Jacob went to Haran and God's anger against Jacob went down. Because who was responsible for that they are not living together? More responsible? Jacob. It was his mission. Last week we spoke a bit in a different way, okay? But it's very important to understand that. And now Jacob is supposed to learn and to start from the beginning. We call this today in our words, we're saying to do a restart, okay? You will manage to build up the Hebrew nation or not. You have the potential. But he's supposed to take out the anger of God. This is why he's going to an exile. It's also similarity to the exile that the Hebrew nation will do after that. And it's true, it's because they didn't do their job of publishing the words of God. All sorts of reasons, okay, why they didn't manage in those days, in the old days, okay, 2,000 years ago. But this is the word Haran. This is the meaning of the word Haran. We'll see this again in a few things. And now let's start to go inside to the next verse, please. Please read verse number 11.
11. And he arrived at the place and lodged there because the sun had set, and he took some of the stones of the place and placed them at his head, and he lay down in that place.
Where exactly this place is?
Beersheba.
He went out from Beersheba.
Yeah, he left, out not far from halfway.
Bethuel.
Is he on the mount?
What? He's saying Bethel. What did you say, Mike?
Is he on the mountain?
Is he on what?
Is he on the mount?
I don't know. You told me.
It's Mount Sinai, isn't it?
Mount Sinai. Mount Sinai is much more south. He went from
Mount
Beersheba
Moriah.
to the north.
Mount Moriah.
Bethuel.
Bethel, you said? He's naming it Bethel. Where is this place? Let's look Rashi. Why do we have Rashi? Very simple. Well, we need to understand why Rashi is saying it, but in a moment we'll see. First of all, let's see what he's saying, and then need to understand why he's saying it. Okay. Please read Dashi. And he arrived at the place.
And he arrived at the place. Scripture does not mention which place, but it means the place mentioned elsewhere, which is Mount Moriah, concerning which it is said, and he saw the place from afar.
We have the same word, place, okay? Abraham saw the place from far. It was Mount Moriah, where Isaac is going to be not slaughtered at the end, but was supposed to be sacrificed as the sacrifice for God. So it's the same word, place here and place there. So we assume that it's the same place, or we say, so we assume, sorry, we say that it's the same place. I want to say something very important that we will understand what is hiding here, okay, in behind the scenes. The word vayifga, in Hebrew, you say vayifga. What is vayifga? In English, you say he arrived, but it's not the same word. Arrived is shuhigia, he came there. Vayifga, let's go back to our board that we have here, okay? Let's write down in Hebrew now. Another new word. Vayifga. Oh, come on, please. Vayifga. Vayifga, it's like heating a place, okay? But it's have another meaning, a very important meaning, okay? So for seeing the second meaning, let's go for a moment to Jeremiah. Jeremiah, where is it? Just a moment, here it is. Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 16.
What's the chapter name again, please?
Jeremiah 7, verse 16.
7:16. It says a lot of hard things about the people who are coming to the Temple Mount, the Moriah place, okay? And they're doing a lot of horrible things. They are stealing, they are cheating, they are lying. They're doing a lot of things, bad things. And then they're coming to this place in Mount Moriah, okay? And they're saying to themselves, this is the Temple Mount, this is the Temple Mount, everything will be fine because we are coming to the Temple Mount. And God is saying to them, if you won't improve your ways of behavior, it won't help you, the Temple Mount, because the Temple Mount is only a place where I can meet you. I can speak with you. And in this way, I don't want to speak with you. In this behavior, I want to be very far from you. Now, I'm going back to the idea of what is prophecy and praying. Okay, prophecy is God speaking with men. Praying is man speaking with God. But just like we, as human beings, can say to God, we don't want to speak with you now, God also have the possibility of saying to us, I don't want to speak with you. It's going together, okay? And this is where you have a very hard, I will say, prophecy. Please read for a moment verse number 9, verse number 10.
9. Will you steal, murder, commit adultery, swear falsely, offer up to Baal, and follow other gods that you do not know? And will you come and stand before me in this house upon which my name is called, and say, we are saved, in order to commit all these abominations?
See, it's a very, very hard prophecy, okay? Now, one of the sentences here is that God is saying to him, because read for a moment, verse number 13.
13. And now, because you have committed all these acts, says the Lord, and I spoke to you, going early and speaking, but you did not hearken, and I called you, but you did not respond.
So verse number 14, and I will.
And I will do to the house upon which my name is called, upon which you rely, and to the place that I gave you and your forefathers, as I did in Shiloh.
What God did to Shiloh? He demolished the place. And the same thing will happen here, because you are behaving badly and coming to the Temple Mount in Moriah and saying everything will be clear because we are coming and speaking with God, I'm going to demolish this place just like I did to Shiloh. And now we have the most hardest verse. Please read for a moment, verse number 16.
16. And you pray not on behalf of this people, neither lift up cry nor prayer, and entreat me not, for I will not hear you.
God is saying, look, I don't want to speak with you. I don't want to speak with you. Your behavior is under any condition that we can do. And you're saying all the time, I will behave badly and I will go to God in this place. I don't want to listen to you. But if you will see in the Hebrew, what is written down here, Ve'al tifga bi. You see the same word? What is the word tifga? Let me copy it. Okay, let me copy this for a moment and put it here. Okay. This is the same word. Okay, let me put it also. Sorry for the inconvenience. You see, it's the same word. You see, it's the same word. Don't pray. Don't pray. This is what Jeremiah is saying. Don't pray for me. If this is your behavior, don't pray. Now let's go back to our verse, okay? And he arrived at the place, Vayifga b'makom. What did he did in this place? He prayed to God. He came to Mount Moriah and he prayed to God. This is what he did. This is the place where he have a meeting with God. Vayifga in Hebrew is also some sort of a meeting, one with each other. Jacob ran away from Esau to take down, to demolish back, or to reduce, not to demolish, to reduce the anger of God. And when he's coming to the right place where God is going to be, he's praying to God. And he's doing it. So first of all, now we're starting to realize what's happening. He's praying to God. In a moment, we'll see what exactly he's going to pray. In a moment, we'll see also the wordings of his praying. And the next thing that he's doing, first of all, and it's also written down, Rashi will say this here, and our rabbis, you see, please read this for a moment.
Our rabbis interpreted it, the word, as an expression of prayer.
Exactly, as we see in Jeremiah 7:16. Okay, I didn't invent anything here. Okay, everything is written down already. It's written down. Atif Gabi, he was praying. Fair enough. And now we have another thing that he took from stones put stones under his head. Right? How many stones? More than one. Maybe 2, maybe 6, maybe 12, I don't know. Let's see for a moment, let's jump for a moment, a few verses ahead. After the dream and everything else, and God is promising a lot of things. Let's see what he's doing. Please read verse number 18, and please listen careful. How many stones do we have here now?
18. And Jacob arose early in the morning, and he took the stone that he had placed at his head, and he set it up as a monument, and he poured oil on the top of it.
How many stones? 1. So it starts with a lot of stones, and suddenly it's becoming only 1 stone. Right? We need to see Hebrew today so much. This is why I'm going to show this for a moment. In a moment, I'm going to explain you something that will be very amazing. Please read for a moment this thing and place them under his head. Please read this, Rashi.
And placed them at his head. He arranged them in the form of a drain pipe around his head because he feared the wild beasts. The stones, started quarreling with one another. One said, "Let the righteous man lay his head on me," and another one said, "Let him lay his head on me." Immediately, the Holy One, blessed be he, made them into 1 stone. This is why it is stated in verse 18, and he took the stone in the singular that he had placed at his head.
Now, it seems like a nice miracle story, right? But all of you, you're not in the age of 5 that we're going to tell you miracle stories for the nonsense, okay? Let's understand a bit what's happening here. Let me show you something in the Hebrew language, okay? Again, we're going back to the Hebrew language. Let me do it a big one, and we will see what's happening here. Let's say, first of all, jump for a moment. Can you see my screen? Okay, the word stone in Hebrew, how do you say it? Stone in English? Stone. This is how you write it in English, right? The word stone in Hebrew is this way. Come on. Okay? The word stone in Hebrew, this is how you write it. Okay? This is how you write it. Fair enough. So let's jump for a moment and understand. I think that we said more than once that each letter here is building up also something. This is, I'm sorry. The word stone is being contained from 2 words. One word is this one, and the other one is this one. Okay, please look carefully and you will see. You see, you can see that this word is here, right? And you can see that this word is here. You see, I'm using this letter twice. This letter I'm using twice. Here it is. In a moment, I'm going to explain you those letters and you will be shocked. Okay? I'm using this letter twice. Fair enough? And then I'm using, let's do it again. And I'm also using this letter. Let's take this one. You see? Right? And I'm using this letter also. Now let's understand, what is the meaning of this word?
Father.
Father. Very nice. Very nice, Laura. What is the meaning of this word?
Son.
Son. Okay? If you have connection between the generations and the father and son are looking on the same, I will say, point of view, worshiping the same God, this is where your family is a stone family. It's a strong family. Okay? This is how a family of the Jewish nation is being built up. Father and son. One generation, another generation. It's all connected. Jacob is saying something very simple. His question is, I looked on Abraham and I saw that there is a relationship, very strong relationship between Abraham and Isaac. I looked on Isaac and I saw that there is a strong relationship between Isaac and me. But both of them, my grandfather, Abraham, had also someone that the relationship was a bit weak. And there was another, also with Isaac, I saw that with Esau, it was very weak, the relationship. The question is, are all the 12 stones, all the 12 tribes are going to be related with me? Or some of the tribes are not going to be related with me? If all of them are going to be related with me and be united as one, this is when I'm going to be Israel. And if not, I'm not going to be Israel. Somebody else will be. You with me? Okay. This is what he's saying here. Saying here, this is a question. By the way, we will find it again. You know when we're going to find it again? Let me show you for a moment. Don't be shocked. Okay, let's go to the Torah. There is almost at the end of the Genesis, Jacob is blessing all of his sons. Okay, let's look for a moment on the blessing that he gave to Joseph. There it is.
22.
A charm. Yes, read 22.
A charming
22.
son is Joseph.
Listen. Please read till the end of 24. Even though it's a bit more, but read till the end of 24. Okay.
22. A charming son is Joseph, a son charming to the eye of the women. Each one strode along to see him. They heaped bitterness upon him and became quarrelsome. Yea, archers despised him, but his bow was strongly established, and his arms were gilded from the hands of the mighty one of Jacob. From there he sustained the rock of Israel.
What is the meaning of the rock of Israel? He managed to sustain. He is very established. Okay?
Unity?
Fair enough. The word is Evan, the same word that we're speaking about. Joseph is the one that is showing us, okay, the strength of the unity of all of the brothers and also the relationship between father and son. Even though he was in Egypt, even though these women tried very much to bring him to a sin, he was connected with his father. I will show you that you will see how much everything here is related one with each other. Let's go back for a moment to the chapter where I'm not sure. See, we'll see. Next one. Please read verse number 7.
7. Now it came to pass after these events that his master's wife lifted up her eyes to Joseph, and she said, Lie with me.
Okay, and we know that Joseph managed to stand against it, okay? But from where did he had the chance, the strength to stand in front of this woman and not to be, not to do this sin? From where exactly?
He saw Jacob's. Did he see Jacob's face?
Exactly. He saw Jacob's face. Jacob is his father. It's written down. So we have the relationship again, the connection between the father and the son. Okay, where is it? Yeah. It's not written down here. No. I know where is it? It's written down on the stone there. Just a moment. Let's jump back to the stone. Let's jump back to the stone. 49. It's written down there. Rashi is bringing there also. I don't remember where Rashi is bringing it, but it's one of the. But it's one of the midrashim that he saw the image of his father, and this is why he had the strength not to do this sin. And you can see the rock of Israel. Please read this for a moment.
The rock of Israel, a contraction of specific words.
Son and father.
Father and son, which Onkelos renders as fathers and sons.
Exactly. This is the strength of the Hebrew nation. And this is what Jacob, at this point here, is saying to himself. He's stopping in the right place. He wants to pray to God. He understands that he has the potential to become the Hebrew nation, the Israel nation. He learned with Abel exactly the vision of the Hebrew nation. And he understands that the first foundation of this, to become a stone, a rocket, is something that is very strong, is a relationship between father and son. He is gathering the 12 tribes together, and he's saying to himself, are they going to become one? Let's go again to this verse for a moment, to this chapter. You will see it's also related here very much with this. Rashi is not bringing all the midrash. Please read for a moment the first verse here.
1. Jacob called for his sons and said, "Gather, and I will tell you what will happen to you at the end of days.
Please read Rashi now. It's very important, this Rashi.
And I will tell you," etc. He attempted to reveal the end, but the Shekinah withdrew from him, so he began to say other things.
Why the Shekhinah withdrew from him? We have a midrash that is saying that he was frightened. He said to them, maybe you don't have, not all of you believe in one God, not all of you connected with me as one stone. And they answered him, no, Shema Israel, listen, our father Israel, Hashem Eloheinu, our God, Hashem Echad, it's the same God. And this is where he calmed down and he blessed them. But he lost the possibility of telling them the end of the days. Okay? Why? It's a different story when we learn this. So, but this is where the first time this verse is being said, where the sons of Jacob, his name is also Israel, are telling him, Shema Israel, listen to us, Israel. Hashem Eloheinu, okay, our God is your God, our God, it's the same one, it's one. We are all together as one stone, Father and sons and all of us together. And this is what we see here in this verse, where he is gathering stones that will become together. It's not, maybe it also happened in a physical way, some sort of a miracle situation where God managed to combine together all the 12 stones to become one. It's more a symbolic idea how exactly the Hebrew nation is going to survive along history with a relationship. And we have this also, we see this also in Psalms. Okay, this is a lot of places, but I'm going to show you something that is very known in Psalms. No, sorry. Psalms, yes, okay. Psalms, it's at the end of Psalms. No. You have here, you see, please read verse number 4.
4. Generation to generation will praise your works. They will recite your mighty deeds.
Generation to generation. I won't forget how many times my grandfather told me this verse and said to me, listen, the most interesting thing is that not only I'm praying, my grandfather, yes, to the Almighty God, but also my son is praising the same God, and also my grandson is praising the same God. This is the strength of God in the Hebrew nation. I can tell you a personal story. I know that we are in the internet, but I will say this. My grandfather had one of his brothers, so the fourth generation is going to have a bar mitzvah. And his mother came to Israel, his grandmother came to Israel, and bought the tefillin for the, he's living in the United States. He brought the tefillin from my cousin. So I'm sure that my grandfather and his brother, okay, both of them are very happy that the family is coming together, and one is selling to the other one, one is organizing for the other one the tefillin. Okay, but this is exactly the situation of generation to generation, where it's all the time continuing on and continuously praising God. So this is one of the most important foundations that we have. Let's continue on to the next verse. Okay, please read verse number 12.
12. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the ground, and its top reached to heaven, and behold, angels of God were ascending and descending upon it.
What was I will ask, the content of his dream? Who can explain to me? What did he dream?
He dreamed of a ladder reaching to the heavens from earth, and angels ascending and descending.
Was it prayers going up to heaven and the angels with the answer coming down?
The answers are coming down. First of all, I have a problem. I have a problem with what you're saying, both of you. You're saying good things, you're saying good ideas and very important ideas, and we're going to use them, or we're going to understand them. But I don't think that this is what he dreamed. When the Bible is trying to say that someone is dreaming something, okay, let's jump for a moment to the dreaming of what's his name? Pharaoh. Okay, Pharaoh was also dreaming once. And it says like that. No, chapter before that, sorry. Okay, Pharaoh was dreaming, and behold, but at the end, the continuous, okay, and he was sleeping again and dreamed again, fair enough. It is. Please read verse number 17.
17. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, in my dream, behold, I was standing on the bank of the Nile.
In my dream, right? In my dream.
Correct.
Let's go back to our verse. And he dreamed. Okay? It's not saying what he dreamed. It's very important to realize, I'm going to say something very clear. Basically, we have here 2 points in this verse. Point number one that we have, that I will call it like that, that Jacob is a dreamer. We need to explain what it is. The second point is that he also, the content of his life is that there is a ladder that is managing to connect heaven and earth. Those are 2 different things here. It's true that every dream is also related with this ladder. Those are 2 different things. First of all, as a principle, he was a dreamer. Now let's explain this for a moment. Let's go back to the Hebrew. Okay, today we're learning the Hebrew language. Okay, I hope that it's okay with all of you to learning the Hebrew language. There are 3 words. The first one is chalom. Chalom is dreaming. Okay? No, yes, I wrote it down. Okay. Let's go back and see that there are 2 more words from those letters. Okay? The other one is lechem. We need to go back to the Hebrew.
Rabbi, I apologize. The halom, is it to dream as a verb or dream as a noun? To dream as a verb.
No, it's also describing something. It's a dream, a dream. Okay, lechem is bread. Fair enough till now. Now we have another word from here. Okay. We have lechem and we have lochem. Those are 2 different things. Okay, we writing it a bit. It's the same word with. Okay, exactly, and this is fight. Okay, you can write it as a fight. You can write it as a bread. You can write it as a dream. What I want to say is something very simple and very important. And this is why the Kuzari book is being based on a dream. I don't know when was the last time we spoke about the Kuzari, but the Kuzari book of Rabbi Yehuda Halevi is based on a dream. And there is a say, okay, let me... There's a say like that. No, come on. No. Sorry. Just a moment. We have also. ח' ג'. דברים ח' ג'. There is a verse that we have in Deuteronomy chapter 8, okay? At the end of this verse, that God wanted to teach us, okay?
He would make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but rather by whatever comes forth from the mouth of the Lord does man live.
We have it like that. So exactly. So we have it like that. The lechem, the bread, is something that is giving strength and building up the body of the man. The dream is what giving, I will say, the food for the soul. And the way of bringing this to reality is by fighting, not fighting against someone else, but more fighting to achieve something. You with me? Those are the three words that are going together. Jacob is a dreamer. Now, the dream, the main dream of Jacob, because we really believe in a full way on the whole of the, how do we call it, the oneness of God. There is a way, there must be a way, and this is the main point of his dream, I'll say it like that, of the Hebrew people, to take down to combine together things that are up there in heaven and things that are happening here in this world. Just like we understand that the bread can bring food and healthier thing to the body, we understand that the dream can bring vision to the soul, and we need to strive to do the efforts to bring it to reality. And this is a dream that we have, not to leave the spiritual side up there in heaven, but to bring it here to this world. How do we do that? This is exactly the things that you said. By praying, for example, and God is answering us. The angels are going up and down, bringing the message. Things that you said, Dan, those are things that are right. This will be the explanation of this dream. Okay, it's also going back to the word of where God, for example, worshipping in the Temple Mount. Okay, we have the Kohanim, the priests that are going up to the climbing to put the sacrifice in the place, and bringing, yes, and going back down. We have another thing, okay? The word, look good. Again, I know that today we have a lot of Hebrew, but it's okay. We have the word sulam. Sulam is the ladder, okay? It's equal with a value, okay, with the word Sinai. Sinai is Mount Sinai, okay? What exactly happened in Mount Sinai? Moses went up there, like in the ladder, right? He went up to heaven. He brought the Torah from the heaven and brought it back here. Malachei Elohim, the angels of God, going up and going down. And this is a way to bring this dream to reality. We're starting to realize how much here is being hidden in this small verse. Jacob is in the beginning of his way. He's not yet.
So, Rabbi, it's basically stating that the ladder was set up on the ground because he dreamed.
Exactly. And now we're starting to realize, we said it when we learned the Kuzari, we also said it. In this world, you can be in a secular world without believing in God at all, and to realize that everything here in this world is everything is organized, everything is fixed. When is the first step that you're managing to go out a bit from this world? The first step of prophecy speaking with God who created this world, is the dreaming. This is the first step. Not a dreaming in a technical way of, with imagination. Dreaming with managing to go out a bit from the boundaries that you have. To start to realize that there is much more than those boundaries that we have today. And this is the beginning of understanding that there is also prophecy. This is the first step. This is the first prophecy of Jacob. Because he have this ability after he was 14 years in Abel, okay? His forefather taught him a lot of things. So he is going out there and he's managing to realize that he have the ability to dream. And he's also, in a moment, he's going to say, we're not going now, we need to stop now in a moment, but he's going to say, look, read for a moment verse 16 and 17.
16, and Jacob awakened from his sleep, and he said, indeed, the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. And he was frightened.
Place? Just a moment. In what place? Here in the ground, not there. Okay, now read verse 17.
And he was frightened, and he said, how awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven.
Here we have the house of God. He's living in Mount Moriah, right? And this is a gate to heaven. You have here the ladder that we say more than once. It's like the chimney, okay? This is a chimney to God. This is the place. Everything is starting with a dream. And the word dream, with all of the meaning of this that we have here. I think it's enough for tonight. Okay, you can ask questions, whatever it is. We have a few minutes. We have something like, say, how much? Until another 7 minutes. If I will summarize, okay, we're realizing the first steps of Jacob, where he's basically understand that he needs to establish the Hebrew nation. He understand his role. He understand, I will say, the way how to do this with a dream. You understand that this is how it will open the chimney, okay, the ladder up to heaven to bring heaven down here. He is managing to understand that he is starting to confront Esau and Ishmael together. And we need to see, he did few more points there, and God promised him something, again, with a condition that he will manage to come to this level, to this stage. Questions? I hope I was clear enough for tonight.
Thank you, Rabbi. This was an amazing show. It really blew my mind when you were explaining the stone. And my only question is, I'm not very clear on why God was angry at Jacob. Because it was his mother's decision.
His mother pushed him, but the role of Jacob, I'm reminding this again and again and again. The firstborn is like the Messiah for his parents. Suddenly, his parents, instead of just receiving life, also giving life. The second one is supposed to teach the first one that he is not the only one in this world, because the mindset of the first one is only I'm here, everybody else is needless, I don't need him. And this is also the name Abel in Hebrew is needless, we don't need him. And Cain, I'm here, my parents also were so happy with me. The second one is something that you don't really need him. No, it's not true. The second one has a very important role, is to teach the first one also to accept others. Russia is the big bear, so they don't care about others. No. You need to learn also that there are others, and you need to give them space like you're giving to yourself. Who is teaching them? Who was supposed to teach them? The second one. So Jacob, as a secondary, okay, he was supposed to teach Esav. He was supposed to do, I will say, much more efforts. Now, of course, at the end of the days, okay, when you're looking at this, Esav had, I will say, the agreement with himself to do something very awful, to kill his brother. I'm not saying that Esav is in a good mood. I'm not saying that he's a righteous one. But if God's supposed to decide here who is more off the track, is not doing his job, it's Jacob. So God is a bit more angry at Jacob. Look at the history, okay? When the Hebrew nation didn't do their job to explain to the world that who is God, so God was a bit angry with the Hebrew nation, threw them to the exile. It's much more responsibility to teach, to be the educator.
Now here comes the next question. I'm a second born in my family, and I'm sure there are many people like that.
I'm also.
And the firstborn in my family will not listen to anything I have to say, no matter which way I tried. I tried this way, that way, a nice way, angry way, soft way, every possible way, and they will not hear it. When is our conscience supposed to rest? When am I supposed to feel, say, I've done my job? Or am I supposed to live with a guilty conscience?
No. I don't. Look, you're asking a very personal question, so it's very hard to answer like that, okay? But I will say in principle, okay, I'm also a second one. Dan is a second one. I think that there are more people here that are the second one than everything else. The third one is very interesting. It's another thing, You're managing to combine everybody together. But I don't think that, let's not go to, in a personal level, we can speak later on in a personal side. Mainly, I will say it like that, by taking a role, okay, like you're taking today, and trying to spread the message in your way to others and everything else, you're also doing this job, okay? Now, there might be that the first one is very selfish, unrighteous, whatever it is, that he won't be able to listen. It might happen. Okay, you won't have any good connection with him. It might happen. Not everything is always only on your shoulders. You also need to have the ears. What we say always: fights always have two people to have the fight, not only one. So of course, it's also the other side. But again, you can when you understand about this role and what is your position, not only to the firstborn in your family. We have, today we have, with the internet, with the people that we know around, we're doing other things. So if we didn't manage in the family, you're not supposed to be all the time guilty. Again, on the personal level, we can speak after that, not today, okay, not now, but we can find the time to speak and whatever it is, to discuss exactly what to do and how to do in your particular family. It might be that you won't have the possibility in your particular family. It's okay. Cain and Abel also didn't manage. Esav and Jacob didn't manage. Okay, we have also people that didn't manage on the personal level. But on the other side, again, things that you're doing today with others, it's also good.
Rabbi is a really great lecture. I noticed one thing that seemed kind of maybe a coincidence, but the Art Scrolls version back that we have is the Stone edition by Irving Stone, and I thought that was an interesting piece, that it's like the family edition,
It is. It's part of this. It's part of the idea. It is. I'm telling you, it's part of the idea.
Wow.
They said this is not only the scripture of the Bible, it's also related with the generations, I will call it interpretations of the rabbis. So it's a stone addition.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. I think that's one
Yes,
we'll have.
but what?
Oh, I was just saying, I think this lecture is one we'll have to watch again.
Oh, for sure, Nathan. Yeah, I think this is one where it's clear that a lot of the Christian theology has taken things way out of whack when it comes to the stone that the builders rejected, or being the way, the truth, and the life. I think that this lecture today really opened up a reality out of the book of Genesis, true Torah, and shows clearly. It's one I'm going to have to review again for sure, too.
Okay, one last question. Bart, you wanted to ask something?
Well, we already talked in the past about the role of the first one, but could you explain something more about this role in the context of what we saw now about the role of the second one? You mentioned you made a comparison, I think. You mentioned the word Messiah to the parents, but what do you mean by that?
I will say this again in a short way, but I'll try to nail it. God is the one who is only all the time giving. He is giving life, giving. Okay, He is the one that is giving life, giving food, giving everything. We as human beings, straight when we're going out from our mother's womb, we're just receiving, taking breath, oxygen. Okay, we're taking food, taking. So we are very distant from God. They're just the opposite of God. So also in the spiritual side, we are very, very far from Him. We are just the opposite side. He is giving, we are receiving. When this is starting to flip back, when we also giving life, the firstborn is bringing us to a stage that we are father, mother. We're not only receiving, we're also giving. Okay, so He is the Messiah for us. Suddenly we are not so far from God. We got close to Him. Okay, but what is the problem of the firstborn? He believes that he is the only one who is important here. He doesn't need anybody else. Everybody else for him is a needless. He doesn't need anyone else. He is the most important here. I'm here. Now he is on the stage of only receiving. He received life. He's receiving love from his father and mother. He's receiving everything. Food, whatever it is. Who is going to teach him that there are others in this world? The second one. Not his parents. His parents are happy that he is receiving. Okay? And his parents also are part of the history. They are back away, they're going to pass away. I'm going to conquer the world. But the second one, not the first one, the firstborn, the second one, that his parents don't really need him to get close to God because they already got it, okay, got the things from the first one. But the second one that is coming after that is the one that's supposed to teach the firstborn that there is someone else in this world. So he is the educator for the first one. The same thing is happening with Jacob and Esau. Okay.
Thank you.
I need to stop. I'm sorry. I hope that all of you will have a great week. Next week is Hanukkah, but we will have a lesson. Hopefully, everything will be fine and we'll have a lesson.
Hashem willing, for sure. Yes. Now, also, I will be going live in just over 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes with Rabbi Carmi Ingber, and then the Nativ Zoom room. We'll be doing that. And I'm working on a couple of others, planning to have Chashi Skobak on January the 4th. I'm going to do a announcement about that soon. And Rabbi, also been talking with Rabbi Shlomo Schwartz of North York, friend of Rabbi Skobak's as well. I gave him your email again last night, and we've been talking really.
He emailed me, yes. He emailed me, and I will speak with him. Yes.
Awesome stuff. Okay, so Catch the Torah wave, everybody. Yeah, we're going to sign out for today, but even though Hanukkah starts next week, we will be back with the Genesis class, so mark it in your calendar. That's 8:30 p.m. in Israel, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific. We hope you'll join us here next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.
One other thing before you guys all go. Sorry. You may be familiar with Rabbinette Sarah Cohen. She's doing a Noahide lecture during Hanukkah on Tuesday, December 20th. I put the invite in the chat there. You can download it, but she told me to invite anyone who's interested to come. My wife Ariel, Anava, and we went to the last one, and it was really good. So this is her second one. So anyway, check that out, Tuesday, December 20th.
Sounds so good. Yeah, send it to me on Facebook if you could, Nathan. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hi, good to see you also. Germany. Hey. Okay.
All right, everybody.
Okay,
We're signing
bye.
off for
See
now.
you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.